With India's neighbors descending into chaos, what does this actually mean for India's future? Hi everyone, this is Zuzana from zuzanareacts, and welcome back to my channel where I learn all things Bharat with your help, and I just share my Slovak Central European point of view. So there has been a recent turmoil surrounding Bharat, and I wanted to dive into and analyze what actually is happening and how that impacts India. So stay tuned. But before we jump into today's video,
please like this video and click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you so much for your support.
You can choose your friends, but you cannot choose your neighbors. Atal Bihari Vajpayee said this many years ago, and it still rings true. Good neighbors are like cheat codes in a game. They make your life a lot easier. No worries at the border, plenty of trade, and a friend that you can rely on. Unfortunately, India doesn't have that cheat code. Let me pull up the map for you. This is India's neighborhood. First, you have Afghanistan, ruled by a radical Islamist Taliban. They have a history of supporting anti-India groups. Then you have Pakistan, basically Afghanistan with nuclear weapons. It's a synonym for political instability. Not a single Pakistan prime minister has completed their term in office. Before that, the army steps in. Down south, you have Sri Lanka and the Maldives. Sri Lanka declared bankruptcy in 2022. The pictures were quite similar to Bangladesh. Protesters stormed the presidential palace, so the ruler had to flee. The Maldives used to be an Indian ally, but the new president is playing hardball. His campaign slogan was India out. Then you have Nepal. Their prime minister is KP Sharma Oli. But I suggest you check again by the end of this show because it keeps changing. Nepal has had 14 governments in 16 years. It is so bad that some people want to restore the monarchy. Further up north is China, an expansionist, undemocratic bully, a country that claims Indian territory as its own. Let's move to Bhutan now. Domestic politics is quite stable there. But Bhutan is looking to sign a border deal with China, a deal that India is worried about. Then there's Myanmar. The army holds power there. Most politicians are behind bars and a civil war is on. Which brings us to Bangladesh. It really was India's last reliable ally, someone New Delhi could count on. But with Sheikh Hasina gone, you can cross Dhaka off. Now take a final look at this map. What do you see? A very troubled neighborhood. You have Islamist radicals, you have military juntas, you have bankrupt economies, you have countries sinking because of climate change, and in the middle, you have India, sort of like the last man standing. But what does this troubled neighborhood mean for India? How will it affect India's future? Broadly in three ways. One, you must be vigilant at all times. Just look at the Bangladesh border. All the violence is unfolding inside Bangladesh, yet Indian border forces are on alert. Same with Pakistan and China. India cannot count on these countries to keep the peace, which means more troop deployment, more defense spending, and more border infrastructure. And secondly, it allows India's rivals to make inroads. We're mostly talking about China here. Just look at the pattern. Who capitalized on the Maldives' India out policy? China did. Who capitalized on Sri Lanka's bankruptcy? Again, China. And who is talking to Bhutan about settling the border? Again, China. You see, India won't work with undemocratic regimes like Afghanistan or Myanmar, but Beijing will. As a result, they have made gains in India's backyard. Which brings us to the final point. It shackles India's global agenda, this troubled neighborhood. We've heard the Prime Minister talk about it. He wants to turn India into a Vishwa Bandhu, meaning a friend to the world. But as they say, charity begins at home. You can't focus on the world when your region is up in flames. You need regional stability to think global. Now, I know what you're thinking. Can India really make a difference here? After all, these are all domestic problems in sovereign nations. Still, there is scope. You see, India looms large over this region. Let's keep China aside for the moment. Every other Indian neighbor has historic ties with India. Some of them were carved out of India. Plus, New Delhi is best placed to make a difference here. India's population is 1.4 billion. The neighbors put together are 500 million. Same with the economy. India's GDP is $3 trillion. The rest is around 1 trillion. So India has two options here. Either ignore the chaos around and push forward, basically hope that the region does not pull India down, or use its influence to steer things in the right direction. I know it's pointless with countries like Pakistan, but elsewhere there is hope.
You guys talk to me. How do you reckon this is going to reshape the region around Bharat? Or like, what is the impact? I think now I'm more and more like, if she puts it like that, I understand why you're so interested in politics and geopolitics. It's mental. It's actually mental. What's happening and surrounding India. What do you see is happening moving forward? I understand that the Bangladesh is a very, very sad situation. It's very unfortunate. But I just wonder, does Modi have a plan? Did he speak about that? Because I know, like, I don't really discuss any kind of like internal matters with you. I think it would be very silly of me. But I would just be curious to know if there is, like, what your thoughts are, and if there is like any kind of speech or approach that has been done by the government, if they have, you know, saying like, okay, this is a new scenario for us as well. I don't know, destabilizing the region even more. We kind of alluded who could be behind that. Yeah, I think perhaps things are done on purpose, but I just wonder what you guys think. Because to me, what it seems like, it's a very sticky situation, and I think that India has a vision, and India wants to really grow and overtake China. But as she said, like, you have to first, you know, be strong from within before you are able to lend a helping hand. The same when you are in a plane, like, first you need to help yourself before you can help someone else. So it's pretty mad. I don't know, you know, like, I'm pretty like taken aback. She has put it like you guys would have known, but for me, like, that was just very much for the context, and in the light of the recent market stock crash and all of that, the uncertainty rises. So I would just love if you guys could discuss this in the comments, so I could learn your points of view and opinions on actually what's going on and how you think that the region is going to be impacted, how India is going to be impacted. I would be pretty curious to know. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video with me. If you did enjoy, please give a thumbs up, share, like, and subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you next one. Until then, please do take care. I'm sending lots of peace and love. Bye-bye.